I'm doing the solutions to question 1 and question 6 on this video. You can go back and to the start and have a look at question 1 every time if you want. So I'm just going to take this out of the way now. Question 1 says find the equations of the following lines when you're given the slope and a point. So hopefully maybe when you're doing these questions you might ask yourself, well, what is the purpose of the equation of a line? Why am I even bothering to do this? What would be the point of this question? And if you can't really answer those, why are you doing these questions? If you don't know the purpose of what you're doing, then what's the point in doing it? If you're happy that you do know the purpose of it, then I always have this page open in my log tables. Okay, so I assume you'll have yours in front of you now. And I look down along it and I'm looking for slope. No, I don't need slope. I'm given slope. It's 2 in the question. Length or distance? No, don't think so. Midpoint? No. Equation of a line. Okay, so we have two ways of doing it here. I'm going to just take the top one. And this diagram here tells me everything that I need to know when I'm filling this in. So question 1, part 1. Slope is 2 and the point is 3, 4. Formula for the equation of a line y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. I start filling in my formula and I notice that, what does m stand for? I don't know. You go back here and you go, oh look, slope. They call slope m. So that's a 2 in this question. Bracket x, well, if you understand the purpose of the equation of a line, you'll know why I'm not filling that in. Minus, and here, this is my point. This is the x coordinate of my first point. This is the y coordinate of my first point. So y minus y1. And then I'm going to clean this up. So here I should have most of my marks, but that doesn't look nice and simple, and everything that I do in maths is supposed to go back to its simplest form. So hopefully your algebra is what's going to get a bit of practice from here on. Brackets, I'm going to multiply that out. You can do it to the side if you want. And then move it around so that it looks a bit maybe like a typical equation of a line that you have seen, or even just a bit more cleaned up, because you know there's stuff that you can do with this. So I am going to subtract 2x from both sides. That gives me minus 2x plus a y minus 4. A 2x minus a 2x is gone, is equal to minus 6. And now I'm going to add 6 to both sides. If yours looks slightly different to mine, it should be fine. That gives me a plus 2, and that gives me a 0. There's the equation of the line. How would I test if I'm right or wrong? How would I verify here? Well, let's just check. Is that point on that line? So 2 bracket 3. So if the x is a 3, so the x coordinate is 3, and the y is a 4, it's a minus. Does that equal 0? So that gives you minus 6 plus 6 equals 0. Yeah, so that's the right one. I definitely know I'm right. I'm not going to go through all of them as slow as this. I'm going to start speeding up. Part 2. It says slope of 4. And point is 1, 5. Y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. Again, once you get as far as, you know, this line here, it's just algebra, so I'm multiplying out and I'm going to move things around. I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. And then that's the equation of the line. Verify it if you want. Part 3. Part 3 says slope of 5 point minus 2, 3. So y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus is from the formula, and x2 is a minus 2. Clean that up. Minus and a minus when they hit off, when they're beside each other, let's say, where you multiply them, they're a plus. Multiply out your brackets. Move it around. Feel free to move it around any way you want. Maybe I'll just add 3 to both sides here. There's the equation line. Okay, it looks slightly different to maybe having everything on the left equal 0, but it's fine as well. Verify it if you want. Part 4. Slope of minus 3 and a point is minus 2, 0. Y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. So what's y minus 0? Just y. And then, well, sorry, I won't multiply it yet. I'm going to do what's in the brackets first. I'm going to follow my BIMDAS. Okay, and y equals minus 3x minus 6. I'm going to leave it like that. Could move it around if I wanted. Add 6 to both sides, add 3x to both sides, etc. Verify that one. 5, we have minus 5 is the slope, and minus 3 minus 2 is the point. So that's y minus y1. So the formula is y minus, and y1 is a minus 2, is equal to m bracket x minus, and x1 is a minus 3. It's got a few minuses there, so I'm going to clean that up. Y plus 2, I'm going to multiply out my bracket. So this is great practice for your basic algebra. And, I'm going to just have it equal to 0 this time. I've done a few where I haven't let them equal to 0, so let me go back. I'm going to add 5x to both sides, and that gives me 5x plus y plus 2 equals minus 15. I'm going to add 15 to both sides, and I end up with 5x plus y plus 17 equals 0. Verify and see if that's correct. Maybe I will just verify here for this one. So that's 5 is that point on this line. 5 times minus 3 plus a minus 2 plus 17. Does that give me 0? Question mark. So that's minus 15 minus 2 plus 17. Yeah, it does. So that point, that's the correct one. And part 6 of question 1. Slope of 2/3. Okay. And point is minus 4, 2. So what are they trying to get me with here? They're trying to see, can I deal with fractions? Right, so that's x1, y1. So that's y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. So that's y minus 2 is equal to 2/3 bracket x plus 4. I'm still going to just multiply out my bracket. So y minus 2 is equal to 2/3 x plus 2/3 times 4. So I'm just going to throw that into my calculator. I'm sure some of you can definitely do it in your heads, but I'm just showing you, if you're unsure, just throw it into the calculator. Plus 8/3. Don't like all my fractions, so in order to get rid of my fractions, I'm just going to multiply everything by 3. So I multiply the left by 3, I multiply everything on the right by 3. That's 3y minus 6 is equal to, what happens when you multiply 3 by 2/3? And hopefully you'll understand why I'm doing this. You end up with a whole number. So I'm trying to get rid of the fractions. What happens when you multiply 3 by 8/3? Well, hopefully you'll realise what's going to happen here. If not, throw it into your calculator. And now I've gotten rid of my fractions. Looks a bit nicer is all. If you like having fractions, that's fine. I'm going to bring everything to the left. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. That gives me 2x plus 3y minus 6 equals 8. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. That's minus 2x plus 3y minus... So if you subtract 8 from both sides, you end up at minus 14 and 0. That's the equation of the line. Or some version of that. It doesn't have to be perfectly exactly like my one. The way you'll know if you're right is verify it. Okay? And then question 6, it says you need to find the slope of the line with the points 3, minus 4 and 1, 2. Now you could put that in an Argand diagram or a Cartesian plane if you wanted. So 1, 2, 3 minus 4 about there. So we have a fair idea what the slope might look like. It's definitely a negative slope anyway. So I'm going to get the slope, and then it says hence find the equation. So in order to get slope, you go to your log tables, you get your formula. That's just rise over run if you wanted to look at it like that. Label your points. So we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that gives me 6 over minus 2, which gives me a minus 3. And we knew the slope was going to be a minus. And yeah, that looks fairly accurate, minus 3. You know, I'm not getting this ridiculous answer. That doesn't match my sketch over here. Right, so now slope is minus 3 and we have x1 and y1 here. So we go and get our equation of a line. Formula. Y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. So that's y plus 4 is equal to minus 3 bracket x minus 3. I'm going to multiply out my bracket. Y plus 4 is equal to minus 3x plus 9. And then move it around whatever way you want. I'm going to maybe just subtract 4 from both sides this time. Make it look a little bit different. Y equals minus 3x plus 5. Is that the equation of this line? Well, sub in and just verify.